it's completely normal for human beings to grow our own food, whatever that may be. And it's time to normalize that again. Alright, so here is our chicks, our laying hens that we've got. We've got 5 Americanas, 5 of the Midnight Majesty Morans, and 5 of the Olive Eggers. So we had homeschool co-op yesterday, and I got a call right before I left that we had chicks at the post office. So Josh had to leave work and go down there and get them and bring them home. Well, he didn't count them because he had to get back to work. He just put them in the brooder and left, and we thought that they were all in there. And then this morning I get a call that we have chicks at the post office. So I get there and I realize that our all of our layers that we got came separately. So we've got to get these in the brooder and get them all set up too.
Aww, it's so cute. It's okay, it's okay.
A tiger on its face and stuff? Yes. It is pretty. I think those are the Olive Eggers. He runs some stuff down there.
He's such a cute baby.
Alright, so it's kind of hard to see. We've got them kind of pinned up here because it's really windy and it's going to get cold. It was cold last night and it's going to get cold tonight. But these are our brooders. We've got one right here. And then this one right here. There's nothing in this one. But they all have lights in them. They all have the heat lamps in them. I'm going to put my camera in here so you can see all of the chicks in here. But we're going to go ahead and get them put in here real quick so that they can eat and get warmed up. Alright, so I've got changed and got a little bit dressed up for the day because we've got a lot going on today. And we're actually having a fish fry later on today with some people we bear hunt with. So we're just getting ready and cooking some things for that. But I guess you can see that I am standing in my greenhouse. Finally, it all happened really fast, and we had some issues getting it delivered. I won't get into all that. It was a really long story, and in the end, Josh ended up having to put it here. The people basically just left it laying on our septic drain field. So anyway, we weren't going to move it, and then after calling their corporate office and things, we decided that we were just going to try and move it, and if something happened, we would just deal with it. Because in the end, we need to get plants in here. We need to get things going and get that seed room cleaned out. So last night, I actually put all my lettuce and spinach that I still hadn't planted in here because it was in the 20s, and it's about in the 40s now, but like this morning it was in the low 30s, high 20s, so it's really cold. And you know, I'm overprotective. I don't want them being out there for long periods, even though they're fine and I know it. So hopefully tomorrow I should be able to get those all in the ground, so I'm not having to worry about them. And maybe even later today I can get all my peppers and tomatoes brung up here in the greenhouse, so we can make room for more canning stuff and all of that stuff in the storage room. And we actually just got blessed with a ton of bee equipment from someone we bear hunt with, and he came by and asked us if we wanted it, and then he had some stuff he wanted to sell, and gave us a whole pop-up camper full of beehives and boxes and then we bought an extractor and some suits from him, and then he gave us a whole other big tote full of stuff. And so when I say we paid him for some of it, but we really got blessed. And we're gonna get more bees soon, so we're gonna be extracting our honey from these bees that we have here. And we're gonna be getting some more bees so we can have even more honey. So we've still got a little bit of work to do in the greenhouse. I'm gonna put some pavers down. We've got to run water and electricity to it. It did come with a fan and thermostat, so we can set it so that fan will come on, but we've got to have electricity to do that. For now, I think I'm gonna be okay to leave these windows open during the day. I need to get an easy read thermometer so I can quickly look and see what temperature it is in here. And really, there's not really a huge learning curve difference in a greenhouse than like starting seeds. You know, you're kind of having to watch the same thing, except you're dealing with Mother Nature instead of in a controlled environment. But there is a little bit that I still have to learn, and I'm sure I will get that all down without harming any seedlings. But like I said, there's a lot going on, and even though, you know, I had my stroke and I've been dealing with that, it feels good to be doing normal things. I had a few days where I took rest, and then of course I rested in the hospital. I've changed some things, changed some medicine and stuff, and I'm feeling pretty good. I still get I feel like I just get tired pretty easy, and I'm not like super stressing myself out by going like all day. I'm taking breaks and things like that, but overall it helps me forget about it. It helps me not sit and like worry about it happening again and that kind of thing. So I don't want to talk about the greenhouse today. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in another video, but today I want to talk to you about these chicks that we just got because we're really excited about what we're growing for our meat chickens this year. So this batch of meat birds is from Hoover Hatchery. We've used them for several years. Overall, we've just liked them better. We've ordered from some other hatcheries, and there's not been like an issue or anything. But we just feel like the pricing was competitive and the options were really good, and you know, all hatcheries take care of their chicks good. I don't think there's really necessarily a bad hatchery out there that's that big, that large. So we ordered 100 of these royal gray broilers, and they're a beautiful like bluish tint bird. I'll put up a picture right here. And you know how we have like our blue tick dogs, and we have like our blue goats and our the Dominecker chickens and stuff like that. So we really loved them. We like fell in love when we seen them. We were already thinking about not doing the Cornish cross again this year. We were going to do the Red Rangers or a red broiler type chicken. Saw these and read on them and were super excited to order them. So they grow out in about 9 weeks, which is very competitive compared to the jumbo cross, in between those red kind of broilers and the jumbo Cornish cross. I feel like this is kind of in between. It's still pretty fast. They're beautiful birds. I don't think they're going to act as like gross and have like heart attacks like the jumbo Cornish cross does. There's nothing wrong with that, and the meat is good. But there is issues when birds grow that fast. So we were happy to find a little bit slower growing bird. And like we seen last year with those Cornish cross, I think it was a mix that we got with those birds. When we cut back their feed, they did fine. They still dressed out 6-7 pounds, and we had far less loss when we cut back on their feed. And we only did that because we knew that we weren't going to be butchering them until a certain date. So if you're like set on your date and you know you're going to be able to do it then, I wouldn't necessarily cut back on my feed, because the end goal is to grow meat here. And you know, you want to do that in the healthiest way possible. And I feel like these royal gray broilers are going to give us just that. And if we like them, and we're going to, you know, of course show this journey with you guys, but we're going to be excited to grow them again in the future. And then Hoover Hatchery graciously offered to send us some layer hens for, you know, we need to get new layer hens this time of year. It's just what you have to do. And so we ordered 15 female hens, so we got them sexed. And of those, we got the 5 Americanas, the 5 of the Midnight Majesty Copper Morans, I think is what they're called, something like that. And then 5 of the Olive Eggers. So you can probably see where I was going with that. I wanted to add some color to my egg basket. I've got some that lay little blue eggs and one that lays a green egg and different shades of light brown. But I want to have those deep dark color eggs and those beautiful sapphire blue eggs, more of those, and some beautiful olive eggs and olive eggers. And if you don't know this, just because you get a breed like Americanas or olive eggers, that doesn't mean they're just going to lay one shade of that color, or of like an olive egg or a green egg. Each bird will have different shades throughout their life, is what I've been told. So we are really excited about having some more layers too, and just watching them grow. So we are really excited to get some chicken back in the freezer. We are going to cut these up and we're going to show you that a little more in depth this time than we have before. But what we really want to focus on is growing our own food and teaching you guys how to grow your own food, or not, maybe not even teaching you, but encouraging you to do so. Maybe you've done it before, or your papa and mama done it, or your next door neighbor does it. It's completely normal for human beings to grow our own food, whatever that may be. And it's time to normalize that again and get that back in our mindset that ultimately we are responsible for feeding our families. We are responsible for taking care of our children and giving them as best meals as we can. And you don't have to do it organically. You don't have to get these pretty blue birds. You can get the cheap, when they go on sale at Tractor Supply, they'll usually knock them down to like 50 cents a bird. And we've done that before. That's how we first got doing meat and chickens. That's what we bought. It was 30 from Tractor Supply one day on a whim. And we just learned as we went. But whether you buy meat chickens or layer hens, the process is the same, taking care of them for usually about 4 weeks, sometimes a little less for the meat birds. But for that first 4 weeks, till they get their full feathers, you take care of them just the same as you do layer hens. So what this video is going to be about today is just encouraging you guys to pull the plug and order you some either laying hens or some meat chickens. And you don't have to do 100. We're only doing 50 for ourselves, and then we're doing 50 for Josh's cousin. He's been helping us process our meat chickens, so we're taking care of them. We're raising these here, and then he's going to help process, and we'll just work together. You know, that's what you got to have. You got to have community, because we've done our chickens ourselves before. We've done pigs and stuff ourselves. It's a lot of work for 2 adults and 2 half-grown kids. And of course, we're going to touch more on all of that in a different video. But now's the time to get those chicks ordered, and we just want you to be prepared. You know, what's your grocery store looking like? Mine's pretty bare. Mine's really bare, and it's getting really expensive. So I've taken that worry off of myself, where I don't have to worry about if I'm going to have enough eggs. And you don't have to have a whole flock of chickens. Get, I think on Hoover Hatchery, I think their minimum order is 5, or it might be 15 total or something like that, or 5 total. Anyway, there's a minimum, but you can go in with somebody if you only want 2 or 3 laying hens, so you're only getting 2 or 3 eggs a day. Then you can do that. People are looking to buy chickens all the time, especially your laying hens. So you're not going to have a problem getting rid of the ones that you can't keep physically on your farm. So I've about rambled all that I can. We're going to show you how we got our brooder set up and how we get ready for baby chicks. And it's a really simple process. Don't stress it. Don't sweat the small stuff. Alright, so these are our brooders. Now we've got chicks in both of these. You can't see the one that's off camera, but you saw the other day we got these set in and leveled up. These are new to us. A friend that was done with them gifted them to us. So we've been kind of trying to play around and how we are using these and how it was going to work for us. Now you can kind of see that piece of underpinning that we've kind of put up on the sides. That's because there's vent holes in those sides, and we had some really strong winds the last this past weekend. So like the first day we got them, it was actually a really windy day, and it's been a few days since I filmed because it was so windy I couldn't even film. It was really bad. But they've got these hinge doors. Each of them have got 3 different slots, and if you lift it up you can get in here and see inside your brooder. We also put this piece of siding up because there's also a vent hole here. We're actually going to go ahead and take this off because it's not windy anymore. We just had this to block that wind that was just really bad. So I think we're going to either take the sides off or take this off for during the day and then put it back up at night. Now usually we just use a big tote like that you store clothes in or whatever you buy at Walmart or Lowe's. We've been using those. We'll actually clamp one of these lights onto the side of the tote, and that's always worked really good with us. And we've always had our chicks indoors in a building or in our house, which is the easiest thing to do if you're just starting out. So they sell these really nice, fancy, very expensive plate warmers that are much safer, and if we had the money we would certainly buy those because it eliminates that fear and they're really easy to adjust. But we don't have that luxury. If you're just doing a few, I would say go for it. Spend that money and go ahead and just get one of the plate warmers. Tractor Supply sells them. I'm sure Rural King does, and they're available on Amazon and lots of other websites. So let's talk about what chicks need. They need shelter from wind and rain. They need a place to keep warm, and they need food and water. Alright, so they're going to work on refilling all their waters and feeders. The feeders at this age, they're about 4 days old, 5 days old. At this age, their feeders are only needing to be refilled about once a day. But their waters are needing to be refilled several times a day. Some of them is only twice, some of them's 3, some of them's 4 times. It depends on what water is in there and how many chicks are in there. They're just chilling out. There's a couple eating back there. None of them's ventured over here yet.
Well, some of them have, but
they kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
So what we really like about this, which makes it a lot cleaner, is all of their poop actually goes underneath. Riley, will you pull one of those out? So we've got these cement mixing tubs underneath, and they pull out, and all of the poop and the extra feed goes down into there, so they're not in their own mess or anything like that.
Can you hold that?
Alright, so Mason's working on taking all these off. They, you know, it's really important that they do have fresh air. They don't need to be cooped up like we've had them, unless it is, obviously you're protecting them from the elements. So heavy wind, extreme cold, below freezing temperatures. That's what we were trying to prevent there. So you can see this one's got 4 of those bins underneath it, which works out perfectly. You got, Clay? Dandelions. Are you eating them?
Look, Mama. Look at them. Look. All the chickens. So on the back of the things, all the chickens get to see each other.
Oh yeah, they peek around.
The chickens over there, they come over here into this pen.
So the one on this side, it actually has these dividers in it. So we have like some of our layers over here. Of course, there's some meat birds mixed in, but we try to get most of our layers over here so that they're separate.
And this right here's the layers.
Oh yeah, that's one of the, I think that's olive egger.
So
or Americana. They look so similar. They are pretty.
Yes.
So these have the little slat, a wood slat at the bottom, so their poop and stuff falls through, but we can pull it out. And we can just dump that out on our compost pile, so it's not making a mess. Just remember, the important thing is they need shelter, whether that be a plastic tote in your living room or laundry room or your building. They need heat, whether that be with a heat plate or a light. They need food, and it doesn't matter what kind of feeder you put in there. You can actually even put it on a plate or a bowl, a shallow dish, and that needs to be chick starter. Now we use unmedicated chick starter, but use whatever you can afford. And lastly, they need water. And I will add that we add apple cider vinegar in all our water, and all of our animals' water. It's just good for them. It helps keep illness down, and it's just something we've always done. So you just add a little splash in each container. It's not going to hurt them. Just don't, fill it up like a big old cup full in each water, but just a splash or two in each container, and that works wonders for illness. Alright, so that's pretty much what you need to know to get started. Get your chicks ordered, basic things that they need, that you need to prepare for them, and it's really that simple. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. It's a lot of information for one video, and I'm going to talk more about chicks in upcoming videos and stuff, but just wanted to encourage you guys not to put fear in you, but just to encourage you, if you're interested, if you're tired of going to the grocery store and not seeing the things you need, if chicken and eggs is one of those things, or if you're tired of paying those high prices, we've done the chicken math, and it definitely pays off to just raise our own, and it's much healthier for us. So I want to thank you guys for watching today. Let me know what you want to see next, what kind of questions I can answer about raising your own chickens or meat chickens, and we'll try to get those answered in the upcoming videos. And we'll see you next time, and God bless.